So President Trump's efforts to improve the Department of Veterans Affairs under new scrutiny tonight. A stunning new investigative report in ProPublica, which has been confirmed tonight by CNN, reveals that an unelected informal council of President Trump's friends is exerting influence over the VA. They're identified as Ike Perlmutter, the chairman of Marvel Entertainment, Florida Dr. Bruce Moskowitz, and attorney Mark Sherman. None of them has served in the U.S. military or the government, but they are all members of the president's Mar-a-Lago Club. And I want to bring in now ProPublica reporter Isaac Arnsdorf, who broke this story. Isaac, it's so good to have you on. This is fascinating and a great piece of reporting.
Thank you.
Your reporting reveals that the three wealthy men used Trump's club, Mar-a-Lago, as their home base. And they've come to be known to VA officials as the Mar-a-Lago crowd. And here's what you write. You said the Mar-a-Lago crowd spoke with VA officials daily. The documents show, reviewing all manner of policy and personnel decisions. They prodded the VA to start new programs, and officials travel to Mar-a-Lago at taxpayer expense to hear their views. Everyone has to go down and kiss the ring, a former administration official said. Stunning. Walk us through that.
Well, it's a very unusual situation. For the past year and a half, there are these three guys in Mar-a-Lago, as you mentioned, an entertainment executive, a lawyer, and a doctor who have been acting as a shadow leadership for the Department of Veterans Affairs, even though they don't have any relevant experience with veterans health care, and they don't have any official role in government. And they've been doing this without any accountability or oversight or transparency. Very few people outside the VA had any idea that this was going on.
So then who gave them the authority to do this? Who gave them permission to get involved?
The president. So if you think back to the transition, there was a period where Trump was asking a whole bunch of his rich friends to get involved. Remember, there was a time where Carl Icahn was going to do deregulation and Rudy Giuliani was going to do cybersecurity. And so one of these people was Ike Perlmutter, who's been a friend of Trump's for a long time. And Perlmutter said, well, I'll help you fix the VA. And so then Perlmutter got Sherman and Moskowitz involved, but unlike these other guys who I mentioned, who sort of faded away, and those roles kind of disappeared, this one has not only continued but has actually deepened to the point that they managed to stack the leadership of the agency with people who were loyal to them, because anyone who didn't get along with them got pushed out or passed over.
So Isaac, just to be clear here, what expertise do any of these men have in either veterans issues or the running of the VA?
Well, that is the exact question that VA officials have been asking themselves for the past years. What business do these guys have telling us what to do with veterans policy? And the answer is they have the president's ear, and in this case, that's what matters.
Okay, so here's what you write. You said if the bureaucracy resists the trio's wishes, Perlmutter has a powerful ally, the President of the United States. So what's the extent of their relationship?
So they talk on the phone pretty regularly, and they'll have dinner when Trump is down in Mar-a-Lago. Whenever something veterans related comes to Trump's attention, the first person he's going to call is Perlmutter. And if Perlmutter isn't getting his way on something at the VA, he can take it up with Trump directly. And everyone knows that, so no one wants to pick that fight because they know they're going to lose.
So it's former administration officials also told you that VA officials who clashed with the Mar-a-Lago crowd, they were pushed out, and that includes the former VA Secretary David Shulkin. By the way, Shulkin left the agency in March because he had some ethics problems, over other ethics problems. They reportedly grew frustrated with Shulkin after disagreeing on various issues. Fill us in on what happened.
So over time, at the beginning, they had sort of an uneasy relationship with Shulkin. They met him actually when he was nominated, before he was even confirmed. And from the beginning, they said, we don't have to meet every month, but we're going to talk very regularly. And Shulkin, you could tell from reading these emails that I obtained, you could tell that Shulkin didn't really love the idea of these guys telling him how to do his job when he thought that he knew how to do it better. And over time, they grew frustrated with him as well because they thought that he should be listening to them, and he wasn't. And so what ended up happening was there were other political appointees at the VA who had a political disagreement with Shulkin, and so they sort of teamed up with the Mar-a-Lago crowd, and that ended up contributing to Shulkin's downfall.
I want to get your response, Isaac, to their statement, and the three of them released a statement to ProPublica, and it's through a crisis communications consultant, and they say in part, "At all times we offered our help and advice on a voluntary basis, seeking nothing at all in return," adding this, "While we were always willing to share our thoughts, we did not make or implement any type of policy, possess any authority over agency decisions, or direct government officials to take any actions." So they're downplaying their influence. They're saying that they were just trying to help.
Right, and they're saying that, well, we were just providing advice and that was always optional, but you can see from the emails that are quoted in the article, that's not how it was received by the VA officials when the Mar-a-Lago crowd said they wanted something done a certain way. Everyone understood that it had to be that way or else their jobs were in jeopardy because they were representing themselves as speaking on behalf of the White House or representing the president's agenda.